Right, I'm going out. This is probably not going to be a hiking video. This is going to be more of a tent box video. So me and my cousin Danny, we're going to be getting in the car in a minute and we're going to have a little adventure down to a place called Whitby, which is North Yorkshire, where I'm going to be camping in my tent box. Danny's going to be camping in his tent, his ground tent, and obviously we're going to have a little look around Whitby, see what it's all about. We're down there for a few days, so this should be a good little adventure. Right, ta-ra a bit. Right, so this is our first charge that we're going to do for the time being. Tent box still in place, good. But yeah, we're on our way down to Whitby. We're just by Billingham at the moment, so we haven't gone too far. We've probably done about 30 miles, and I didn't have to charge. I mean, I've still got a lot of energy in my car, but I'm just playing it safe. So nice little view. So yeah, we're going to crack on, charge here for a few minutes, and then we're going to scoot on to next stop, Whitby. So this is the name of the place where we are. That's the entrance to it. All very nice. Well, before I came, I looked on the reviews on this place, and they said that the toilets were awful. These toilets are fantastic. You got a toilet and shower area. Everything's clean. Everything's beautiful. I'm really impressed with this site. It's really, really nice and clean. So yeah, I think it's a nice place to come. Very nice place to come. It's mainly full of camper vans and motorhomes and things, but it's really nice. Love it. Oh, yeah. So we're walking down into the harbour area. Lots of the streets like this. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. Okay, so we're about a third of the way up the 99 steps up to the Abbey. Beautiful view. So we're up at the Abbey. It's a bit of a dodgy day to come to Whitby today, because the main bridge that goes across, which is like a swing bridge, is broke. So there's like a queue of probably about 120 people on either side waiting to go across, but they can't get the bridge moving again. So luckily we're on the right side for the Abbey, which is here, and there's the got a bit of a cold. It's not COVID. There's the old Abbey over there. That's the view. And it's a massive gravesite. Right, do a bit more exploring.
Computer says no.
Oh, right, forget about your jet boil. Here's a little mod. What you do, you get a bit of tin foil from like a pie or something like that, and you put a little hole in the bottom of it, and then you put your whatever burner you've got through the hole, and then you've got like a little wind deflector, and it's really efficient, really good. I can't actually take the glory for this. That spanner did it. But it's really, really cool. But you don't need a jet ball and spend like 80, 100 quid or whatever. Just spend.
Like 5 pence.
Yeah, 5 pence. 5 pence. And you modified your burner. How cool is that? Anyway, try it. Right, so second day. Had a good evening, good night. Went for another walk into Whitby. Seen an old mate and her husband. We haven't seen them for about maybe nearly 30 years. So an old schoolmate. And we come back, had a drink, etc. And while we sat there, blooming owl decided to come and sit right next to us on the post right behind us. Literally just there, just came, flew down, and we didn't even know it was there, to be fair. We just heard it twitterooing, and then all of a sudden we looked around and we could see it. I tried to get my camera out, and by the time I got my camera out it flew off, which was a bit of a bum. Campsite's really nice, really impressed with it. It's a very small campsite. It's called Folly Gardens. Now, I did see before I came there's quite a few bad reviews, and one of the reviews was there's a council estate overlooking it. There's the council estate. Well, there's a valley down there, and then there's the council estate. So it gives the impression from the way the people are complaining about it that it's literally on its doorstep. It's not. I mean, that's a reasonable distance. That would take quite a long time to walk to. In fact, you probably can't walk directly to it. There's an allotment in the way over there, and you just couldn't get to it easily. So there is no issue with that whatsoever, not in my opinion anyway. It's a lovely little site. It's probably about a quarter of a mile walking into the town, if that. A few people have mentioned about condensation on these tent boxes. Didn't have any condensation at all this morning, except you can see on the top you've got the sunroof. The sunroof had condensation on the inside and obviously on the outside of it, like it has now, but I had it closed off, so nothing dripped in. It'll just, if you just left it, it would just drip down and bead off the fly. The inside of the fly was quite damp, but the inside of the tent was completely dry. I was really impressed. It's not a cold day, so, and it wasn't a particularly cold evening, but I was really impressed with it. I did have a window slightly cracked open just for a bit of condensation, but it's good. I'm really impressed with it. I'd recommend anybody to get one of these TentBox. They're brilliant. They do the two different colours. They do the orange and with a grey or black fly, same as that one. That looks really cool, but the only reason I went for the black, I thought it was just a little bit more discreet. The orange ones look better in photos, I've got to totally agree, because you can see the definition on them, but nah, the black one's more discreet. I think you could get away with camping in slightly dodgy places with a black one, because people might not see it when it's dark, particularly during the winter, or with the dark nights. So anyway, gonna go. Right, well, that was a successful camp. I had a great time in Whitby. I've been a few times to Whitby, but I've always had my kids with me and ex-wife, etc. And you're always dictated to as to where you go to, what you do, how long you spend at a particular place. But this time it was just all about, me really. I just did my own thing when I wanted to do it. Oh, it was brilliant. a fantastic time. I urge anybody to go to Whitby just for a couple of days, just to see it. It's lovely. TentBox performed fantastically. Gotta say, I was very impressed with it. Yeah, I think you need a topper in them, but all I had is I had a quilt underneath, and it was a double quilt, so I just folded it over, and I lay on top of the quilt, and I had a sleeping bag on top of that, so it was comfortable enough for me. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Get a few looks, people looking at it, wondering why your tent's on top of your car, but it looks brilliant. It absolutely looks fantastic. Recommend anybody to get a TentBox. It does affect the range a little bit on my electric car, but I don't go far, so it doesn't make any difference to me. Yeah, I just do local trips, and sometimes I will do some trips where I'll do a short amount of miles, maybe 50 miles away, camp the night, go another 50 miles, and just break it up, 50, 70 miles, 100 miles maybe. You don't really need to do much more than that. You just need to enjoy the camping experience. Yeah, so recommend anybody to get a TentBox. Any of the TentBoxes, to be fair, there's 3 different versions. I've got the lite, which is the least expensive but the largest tent. But you've got the classic, which is the one that pops straight up, and you've got the, I can't remember the other one. The other one is like a triangle. They're all really, really nice. The quality of them, the build quality is really good. Yeah, excellent. Right, ta-ra a bit. See you on the next little adventure.